And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Time for the question of the week, and if you want to be the question of the week, make sure you put your question in the comments down below. But we got the mail girl here already. Angie is back. I think this is like the 5th week you've been part of these questions of the week, and we appreciate your help. We need all the help in the world with these questions. So good to see you once again, Angie. Like I haven't seen you in a full week. And Angie and I have had a very, very busy week. 2 concerts this week. Maybe more than that if I guess you're counting opening bands. But Angie and I, just like old times, it was like it was 2005 all over again. We were at Clutch. Oh, we saw Clutch. Rival Sons, Blackberry Smoke were there. We had quite the time, huh, Angie? Mm-hmm. What'd you think of that show?
It was good.
It was good. It was. I like Clutch. I still like Clutch. We've seen Clutch many times. But they are getting older, and I guess we all are getting older. And there wasn't as much movement jumping around as Neil just over a year, the last year or so. But he did have neck surgery, stuff like that. So
he couldn't even walk when we got home. His back hurt so bad from standing the whole show. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're all getting older. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And I have had a back problem since last August. Just wild. It's wild when you're old. And I refuse to go see doctors. I refuse to do any of that. I just tough it out and just sit in misery every single day and complain to Angie. It's a great thing. I recommend it for everybody. But we saw Clutch a late night on Tuesday. But Angie, let's talk a little bit about our Thursday night concert going activities. You remember this one on Thursday? Angie was truly hot to go. She was hot to go, just like a regular Saturday night, really, around here. Angie's always hot to go, of course, for me especially. Sure. But we did go to Council Bluffs, Iowa, the West Fair Amphitheater for, I always mess up, Chapel or Chapel?
Chapel Roan.
We went to Chapel Roan.
Yeah, Midwest Princess Tour.
And I went, didn't I?
Kids loved it.
The kids and Angie went. What did I do, Angie?
Sat in the car.
I sat in the car. So I said, I'll drive you guys the 2 hours there, the 2 hours back. I said, you know what? I could sit in the car for the concert. I could just chill. I can sit there. I got videos to edit. I had work to do for my day job. I had notes to do for Toy News. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I got plenty of stuff to keep me occupied. And then, unfortunately, what happened, Angie? Traffic. We got stuck in traffic forever. And I knew traffic was terrible there. It's always been terrible. Last time I was there, I saw Clutch, actually, surprisingly. So it took forever to get there, but it was fine. You were there in plenty of time to see the show. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there. We were sitting there parked. I was doing my thing. And before you and Elle and Emma got out, I said, uh-oh, my cell phone does not work. I have no Wi-Fi. I have no connectivity. It just says SOS on my iPhone because 16,000 people at this show. So it was a packed house. So I was like, you better remember where we parked. You better remember because I'll be here and I'll have it fired up. I'll be ready to go because we got to beat the traffic out of here. So then what happens from there, Angie? How did that go? How was the show? I guess go into the show. Give us a couple, a minute or two, whatever, of how the show was and what you saw. A little review.
Oh, gosh. Lots of dancing. Lots of singing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Song and dance man, that's me, but you were a song and dance woman. So the kids, you had no problems, you saw good. Mm-hmm. It was the show you expected it to be for hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yes.
Because I paid for like $16 for Clutch tickets, and you paid like, maybe both, I guess both, paid like $500 for these tickets here. So, and then there was merchandise on top of that. I think you got this zombie shirt there for me. That was really cool. Fulci movie, you ever seen this one? More on that in a second here. But it was good. Mm-hmm. So anything else about it? No. So very, very well money spent. She was just floored about it. I never saw a picture. I never saw a clip. I never saw any of that. So she was really, really loving that show. But the best part of the show for me was all of a sudden the hills came alive with not just music, people sprinting to their car because the show was over. And I was like, oh, those kids better be coming. Fired up the old car. Fired it up like a 1980 station wagon. Boom, that's what I did. No, or I pushed the button. But I was ready to go. I was hot to go out of there is what I was. And unfortunately, no sign of them. No sign of them. They kept trying to call me, but I couldn't pick it up because no signal. Even though I restarted my phone and I got signal for like 2 seconds and then it went away. It was horrible. Anyways, finally found you guys, pulled out of the spot, got into the street, and that's where I began to sit for 3 hours straight. Yes, you heard it right. 3 hours in one spot trying to get out of the parking lot. I thought I was going to kill myself. I really thought I was. It's like 10 o'clock at night, so we left at 4 o'clock, 2 hours on the road, sat there from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock, waiting for them, finally got there, and then I'm like, all right, well, we got a 2-hour drive home, got work in the morning, kids got school in the morning. Terrible parents. Anyways, sat there from 10 o'clock till 1 a.m. without moving. I'm like, what is this? What is going on? And the only thing I could think of, there was 4 different parking lots, and I think the sheriffs and everything, okay, waving each parking lot out, and they chose ours last, of course. So, it was so bad. And then to make matters worse, all my videos were edited, all my work was done. I planned accordingly, but I couldn't do anything else if I wanted to because you had to watch. You never know when you're going to move. People trying to sneak in left and right. It was a disaster, an absolute disaster. But on top of that, everybody went to sleep within like 10 minutes of us parked there. So I'm sitting there by myself for almost 3 full hours, just sitting there with my own thoughts. It was such a hard time. And then finally got out of there after 3 hours, and it was a 2-hour drive home. So 2 hours driving at like 2 in the morning. Long story short, or long story long, left at 4 o'clock, got home at 3:45 a.m., up at 7:15, I think I was. So, and you were tired, the kids were tired, everybody was tired, but they had the time of their life. You wouldn't think it, but they did. And that's what I keep telling myself. They had the time of their life. So be happy, be grateful for all that. So, long story short, or long story long. So, but you would go again. You would. If she comes back, you're going to go again?
Yeah, we just need a new exit plan.
Need to figure it all out. So I've been wordy enough. Let's get to the question of the week. How about we get to the question of the week? All right, Angie, give it to us.
Not cornholio. Cornhole King, the best question of the week. Since it's almost spooky season, what is your favorite B or C 80s era horror movie, and why is it The Stuff?
There you go. So
What's
Angie doesn't know what The Stuff is. A lot of people don't know what The Stuff is. And I've seen The Stuff twice, I believe. And that was enough stuff for me. Very, very strange movie. It's even not... That would be a movie my daughter Emma would like. And you know Emma. You're aware of her. She lives here. She would like that. It kind of reminds me of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's like horror, but not really. But it is The Stuff, and you don't want anything to do with The Stuff. It's almost like Soylent Green. You know about that? See, I'm a class away from a minor in film, as many viewers know right here. So I'm throwing those deep things out there. But The Stuff, I've seen it twice. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but a lot of people would say that's their B or C era horror movie. Angie, I'm guessing, knowing Angie, and I know her well, she's my wife, she doesn't like horror movies really at all. And you could probably count on one hand your horror movie experiences probably for the most part. So you don't have any movie that you would even think of B or C. You would probably think Jason or Freddy, and that's like A stuff. So yeah. I don't even think you could throw something out there, but I will. And this is one I've talked about numerous times here on the channel. It is the only movie that truly scared me as a little kid. I've always loved the movie. It's terrible watching it all these years later, but when I was a kid, it just something about that. I wasn't scared of Jason. I wasn't scared of Freddy. I wasn't scared of Leatherface or the Universal Monsters, but I was scared of my friend Belial, and he was in the movie Basket Case. So Basket Case would have to be the top of the list for me. I always remember back to being a little kid, like just being very frightened of that. Watching it didn't give me nightmares and stuff, but kept me on the edge of my seat. So all day long, Basket Case. Basket Case, is it 2 or Basket? Is there a Basket Case 3? Do you know? You said, I didn't know there was one Basket Case, let alone 2 or 3. But there's the last one that is absolutely god-awful. I don't recommend that. They go to like a farm with like a family of basket... Horrible movie. Horrible. I had to watch it, though. Had to watch it. But Basket Case is going to be my answer for that one, and Angie's going to step out. But Angie... Here's an idea. Could we watch Basket Case together?
Oh, God, I guess.
Could you watch that movie? Maybe we watch it tonight, and next week maybe you could give a feedback on your thoughts on this movie. I don't know. Angie might not be able to sit through that one. I have a feeling. It'd be like me trying to sit through those Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies you like so much. It'd be similar to that, I do think. But Angie, we're going to throw a surprise in here, and I came prepared. We got a question for Angie. Jonathan Hodap, question of the week, how's Angie's Hocus Pocus collection going? And when do we get a tour of that collection? Oh it's my really gosh. There it is. How's the collection going, Angie?
This is it.
That's her collection.
I haven't even unboxed it.
And you're back and forth. Are you gonna?
Well, the house is in disarray.
Are you gonna get the other guy on the back?
I don't know.
There's another guy on the back from the Hocus Pocus
I
collection.
can't remember what his name is. I'm blanking.
Oh my gosh! So I've never
Maybe or
seen
something.
Hocus Pocus. Do I watch Hocus Pocus and you watch Basket Case and we see which is the better movie? And we give it a critical analysis here on the channel between the two,
Oh my gosh.
or you're fine just watching Basket Case.
No, you should. If I have to watch Basket Case, you have to watch this.
I'll do it. I'll step up to the plate. I'm never scared of a challenge. I'm never scared. So we could maybe do that. But that's it for
This
the
is it,
Hocus
guys.
Pocus.
This is it.
No more?
That's all.
Do you have anything to say about Hocus Pocus?
Iconic.
Iconic. Is it like today's special? Do they ever say Hocus Pocus Alamagocus? Do they ever
It's
say
kind
that?
of one of those movies that you watch as an adult and you're like, oh, kind of lost the magic. It's not as good as when you were a kid, but
It's weird, and you know me, I've never liked a Disney movie. Ever since I was like 5 years old, I just turned my nose up on any of that kind of stuff. I just couldn't. I was like, just even as a 5-year-old kid, too corny for me. Just like Sesame Street, just like Mr. Rogers. I just, give me Zombie. Give me Zombie by Fulci. That's what I need. Somebody to get their eyes pierced and stuff. I need to see a zombie fighting a shark. That's my kind of movies when I'm a little kid, and that's my kind of movies right now. There you go. There you go. So no more Hocus Pocus. So it sounds like the collection ends right here. But sometimes you're a minimalist collector. Somebody's got to take it to the opposite end of the spectrum. And that'll be Angie right here. So there it is. That's the question of the week. A long mailbag here. Thanks everybody for listening in. And thank you, Angie, for joining us. And once again, you want to be question of the week, put your comments, questions in the comment section down below. Now we got to get down to it. The biggest weekly purchases of all time. All right, time for the mailbag, time for the question of the week. And of course, as usual, if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments of this very video, and you too can be question of the week. We got the mail girl here, Angie, back another week. Angie, hello. How are you today? How's it going for you this week? Going good? Yeah, we're back out with another question of the week. Angie and I think we talked about this in last week's video. Might as well start. It's the tip of everybody's tongue this week, I am sure. Angie, last week we talked about watching movies that neither of us have seen. I said I would step up and watch Hocus Pocus. I have not watched Hocus Pocus yet. I will, though. If you really want me to, I'll watch it. But last night, Angie, you settled in on the couch. You got that brand new heated blanket you got from Costco. Oh, you got that double chocolate chunk cookie this week. Check out the figure hunt this week on the channel for more of the double chocolate chunk cookie hunt. Trying to find those. We did that, but you also got a heated blanket there. Now, how's that heated blanket treating you?
Beautiful.
But how's the movie Basket Case treating you, as we did watch that last night? Do you have any quick opinions on the movie?
I'm traumatized.
Would you say it's your least favorite movie you've ever watched in your life?
Probably not.
What can you think of? What is worse? What have you watched that's worse than that?
I don't know.
Like some high
There's gotta
school
be something, though.
high school film that was made by people in like the AV lab or something like that. Now, Basket Case, to me, it's not the greatest movie of all. It's far from that. However, it is the only movie that truly terrified me as a little kid, that I was actually scared of. Now, a kid, you see Faces of Death, you see all these other things, you see Freddy Krueger, Jason. It's just all good fun. But for whatever reason, Basket Case always stuck with me. And I think a lot of it was the stop motion scene where they had him tearing up the room and stuff, moving around. Kind of that Ray Harryhausen. There's a deep film major cut right there. You guys know, one class away from a minor in film, of course. That Ray Harryhausen animation type stuff, which kind of morphed into Tool Undertow. You ever seen that Tool music video? Creeps me out. Nightmare Before Christmas creeps me out to this day. Something about that stop animation just creeps me out. But Basket Case, we watched that last night. It's been a heck of a long time since I've seen it. Holds up. Remember when he's running naked through the streets? That was crazy. That was crazy at the end.
And there's boobs.
Yeah, there is. That's true. And then Belial's there, of course, the Basket Case. And halfway through the movie, Angie was saying, you know, if we ever adopt a kid, let's get one like Belial. Let's get one like him. We want to get somebody cut off the side and stuff. But I don't know. It's not my favorite movie ever, but it's always holds a special place in my heart. And now, Angie, it holds a special place in your heart. Now, would you watch Basket Case 2, 3, and 4?
Maybe 2, just to see how they come back.
Oh, how they come back. Yeah, 3 is the god-awful one. And I heard they're working on 4. I've heard that is the case. So, oh my gosh, could be more Basket Case for us in the future. But Angie took it like a trooper. You had to close your eyes a few times. She gets traumatized. She didn't want to have some of these killings and clawed up faces. She didn't want to have to think about that while she was dreaming. She just likes to dream of me, which it works. It works. So Basket Case, a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. What are you giving it? Thumbs down. I figured
Well,
as
not
much.
Foley.
Oh, it's got to be Foley.
It's
There's no way.
It's curious that he can't talk, but he can scream.
Yeah, he can't.
His vocal cords work.
Yes, he talks telepathically through. What was the guy's name now? I forgot his name. Not Howard. Not Oh, it's gonna drive me. It's gonna drive me nuts. But of course, we just watched it. We should have remembered the names by then. Anyways, that's a little bit of basket case stuff. How about we get down to the real reason we're here for the question of the week? Angie, roll it.
Roll it. Dark Lord Mordred. Where do I know that from?
He did it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to him for getting back in the game.
Okay. Taking up residence on the couch this week. My question is, what is the greatest concert you've ever been to in your life? The one that you'll never forget and that may even rival your wedding or the birth of your children?
In your memories.
In your memories.
Yes. So, Angie, I'm going to let you answer this because...
Now.
Angie, I think you know what your favorite concert you ever saw is. You just saw it.
Chapel.
She just saw Chapel Roan, and you guys got to see all the video of me being in a car for 12 hours in the figure hunt this week. So see the pain, feel hot to go in that video, but I'm glad you and the kids enjoyed it. Even if I was in some misery, you guys got to enjoy it. So I had a feeling that was probably your favorite one. For me, it's a tough one. There's two concerts. Ozfest 2004 was a big deal for young Kyle. I was in college at the time. I was so jazzed to see that. I saw that down in Kansas, I believe. Tinley Park Amphitheater back in the day. I think that's what it was. But it was two of my all-time favorite bands that I'd never seen with that lineup, I guess is what we'll call it. It was Black Sabbath and Judas Priest co-headlining. It was the return of Rob Halford to Judas Priest. I had seen Judas Priest with Ripper Owens. I had not seen him with Rob Halford, so that was a big deal for me. Also got to see the original Black Sabbath lineup with Bill Ward on drums and Ozzy Osbourne. Never got to see Ozzy solo. He canceled something like 10 shows I was supposed to see over the years, but I did get to see him with Black Sabbath on 2 different occasions. So that was a big deal. The 2 pioneers of heavy metal. And then you have Black Label Society on there with Zakk Wylde. Slipknot was headlining the second stage. Slayer was there. Always a good time with Slayer. The whole Ozfest experience. So that was quite the show for me. I was very pumped. That was right before I met you, too. So if you would have just met me about 6-7 months earlier, you would have been at that show probably with me by hook or by crook. But also the other concert, a big deal. You were there for this one. It was the Motorhead Cruise. We were on 2 years of the Motorhead Cruise. Slayer, Anthrax, tons of the usual suspects throughout the years on that. And most importantly, Lemmy and Motorhead. Just a very cool experience that I'll never forget. Just being on the water, on a vacation, on a cruise boat, seeing Captain Lemmy, seeing everything else. That was quite the experience. There's no doubt about it. And Angie had a rough time on both years of that. She was, what was it, newly pregnant or something like that? So you were having all the seasickness plus the morning sickness. Just the double up on sickness is what you were doing there. But quite the time.
Time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. So there it is. That is the question of the week. And we do got one bonus question. Throwing Angie for a curveball.
Okay.
Toys Room 28. Hi, Angie. What is your favorite ice cream? And Ed, you're an ice cream expert, so take it from there. What's your favorite ice cream, Angie?
It's kind of controversial.
Uh-oh. Is it?
It's mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate? That's controversial?
A lot of people think it tastes like toothpaste.
Oh, really? Things that shouldn't be controversial are turning controversial in this day and age. If mint chocolate chip as your favorite ice cream is controversial, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
If it's in season at Baskin Robbins, it's baseball nut.
Oh, yeah, the baseball nut.
Everyday ice cream.
You always just yell down to the stairs. You say, Daddy. You say, Daddy, I want some nuts right now. Take me to get some nuts. And we do. We get the baseball nut. That is a good one. I love raspberry flavored ice cream, but I don't know if mint chocolate chip's a controversial thing. That's a sad state of affairs in this world. If people are offended by that, man, they would hate to watch this channel. I'm going to offend people all day long if that's offensive. For me, I don't even know. I don't really have a sweet tooth, so I rarely ever crave like ice cream. And I guess if I ever get ice cream, it's usually peanut butter, chocolate type concoction there. That's what I would go for. I don't know. There's really no ice cream I don't like either. I can eat really any kind of ice cream if I have to. It's just you prefer some over the other. I think that's most people. Even bad ice cream's probably better than eating dirt, at least I would say. I don't know, or watching Basket Case. Maybe it's better than that too. So there it is. That's the question of the week. Angie, thank you for joining us once again. If you want to be the question of the week next week, get your question in the comments down below. And now we got you down to it. the weekly purchases. All right, question of the week time. The mail girl is here. She's ready to go. She's ready to answer all the questions or ask the questions maybe that time. Angie, how are you today?
Good.
Are you tired as I am?
Yes.
It's a very exhausting week. Very exhausting week. So we're very tired. But we're going to power through the old question of the week here. And then, Angie, we're going out to dinner. Where are we going to go? Nice Italian? I don't know what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out. Story at 11. We'll figure it out there. But Angie, you got the question of the week. Let it rip.
All right. Gosh, how do you say that? Tom Dobrowski, 3694. Kyle, if you were to visit Hogan's Hangout for karaoke night, what song would you perform for the immortal one and why?
Oh my gosh. What would you perform for karaoke?
Probably some Journey or something.
Would you be some Hot to Go? Would you do that for everybody?
Don't stop believing.
Okay, she did Don't Stop Believing. Like a young Steve Perry. I of course would go to my go-to. I don't really do karaoke. I'm not a karaoke guy, but I would of course come from the band known as Danzig, one Glenn Danzig, and it would be the song Mother. That is my go-to. Somebody roll the clip. But there it is. Yeah, of course, Danzig. That's what I would go to. So I don't know. I'm not a karaoke guy really, and you're not either. You're not a guy first off, but you're also not a karaoke girl. But I figured you'd do Chappelle Roan or Chapel. I always mix it up. Chapel. I figured you'd do the dance. Can you do the dance? Mm-hmm. Let's see it.
No.
Nope, she's not doing it here. She's gonna. Oh, she kind of knows it. Oh, she's hot to go. Look at that. Now do the Macarena.
It's basically the same thing.
Is it?
I was like, this is a Macarena knockoff.
Oh
and I
my
thought,
gosh. But that's an interesting question. I don't know. Everybody's got their go-to karaoke song. There used to be a karaoke bar that I used to go to sometimes with friends, and there was a lot of old people there, a lot of older chicks there too as well. And there was a guy called the Captain. He had a captain's hat on. He was there every single night, and he would sing "Lady, You're my knight, I'm your knight in shining
Louis
armor."
Armstrong or whatever?
No, it was Kenny Rogers.
Oh, Kenny Rogers.
He would do that every day. Lady. He would do all of his He had a white beard like Kenny Rogers, white hair, and he was the captain. Captain's hat. Oh, the captain's up again. And he just lived that karaoke life like he was in a Japan bar or something like that. But man, he would do
he's
all.
probably dead by now.
Gotta be dead. Gotta be dead. But he would do all the Kenny Rogers songs. It was an absolute amazing one. One of the all-time greats of karaoke, a local legend of the karaoke scene here. That's about it. That's all I got on karaoke. So there it is. That is the question of the week. Angie, anything for you? No? You're good?
Nothing to add.
She's good. Nothing to add this week. It's a short one. It's an interesting one, but it's a short one. There it is, the question of the week. And if you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below, and you too can be the question of the week. But now it's time for the weekly purchases. What is up, everybody? It's time for the mailbag. The mail girl, Angie's here. She's not an old bag. She's just a mailbag is what she is. Angie, welcome back to the channel.
I'm here.
She's here. She's ready to go. She's tired. She needs to get up. Maybe you need to do some lines of blow like the Hulkster back in the day, maybe. Who knows? But Angie here today for the mailbag. And, of course, you want to be the question of the week. Put your question in the comments down below. And, of course, question of the week brought to you this week by jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15%. Gotta get a deal out there. Mm-hmm. Angie, it's dangerously close to Halloween. It's going to be quite the week next week. We got company coming over. We got a busy week next week. So, Angie, are you ready for the question of the week?
Sure.
Ready as she ever will be, of course. So, Angie, take it away.
Okay, this is from Mock Turtle 4911. My question, in the spirit of Halloween, is what weird characteristics of a movie creep you out? For me, it's when I can hear a character's voice, but the mouth is not moving or visible, like V for Vendetta or Johnny Got His Gun.
Have you seen either of those movies?
No.
I've never seen either of them, but I know Johnny's Got His Gun mostly from the Metallica video of One back in the day, and I always thought that was the biggest, craziest thing to think about was, of course, it was like, I think it was World War I, if I'm not mistaken, Johnny's Got His Gun. I'm pretty sure it was World War I. He got his, like, arms blown off, his legs blown off, his face blown off. He was still alive, but he was basically stuck inside his own head. He couldn't communicate to anybody, couldn't do anything. He's just sitting there like talking to himself basically. Like, why can't you understand me? And I remember I had to have been like 8 years old when that Metallica video came out probably. And I just remember being like, man, that would just be the craziest thing ever. And it made you think, old Johnny and his gun. But I understand what he's saying. You can't see the mouth moving. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, I can see that being creepy. Not creepy for me. Is that creepy for you? No. What is creepy for you, Angie?
I don't know.
What do you hate in your horror movies? I think we know this.
Do we?
Yeah. What do you always hide your eyes from, obviously?
Oh.
So it's got to be that, right?
The actual killing.
Yeah, you don't like the blood and guts. You don't like the gore and stuff.
I just feel bad for the people.
You feel bad for the people. It's a movie. It's not a documentary. Angie goes into all horror movies thinking it's a documentary. She's like, we were watching Basket Case last week. Oh, documentary of that poor family. What happened to them? No, but for me, there's only one thing that really creeps me out, and Basket Case has a little bit of it. It is stop motion animation. So like the Tool Undertow video is the perfect. I hate Tool to this day. I don't want anything to do with Tool. That video, for whatever reason, it'd be midnight. I'd be watching Headbangers Ball. I'd be in like 5th grade, and it just creeped me out. It just gave me the heebie and the jeebies both at the same time. Ever since then, claymation stuff like that just is too weird for me. It's just too weird. Like Nightmare Before Christmas, that kind of stuff. It's like, it's not scary, but I just don't like that animation style. So for me, that's what creeps me out. I just don't like it. But that Undertow video for Tool, for whatever reason to this day, still creeps me out. And I maybe got that from Basket Case because there's that stop motion thing in Basket Case. So I don't know what it is, but get your stop motion out of here. I don't want any part of it. It's not for me. But that's for Angie. It's the gore. It's the blood and guts. She gives you one of these and then kind of peeks through sometimes. And, is it over? Is it over? Oh my gosh. She gives you one of those. So that's it. That's question of the week. If you want to be the question of the week, put your question in the comments down below. Until next time, Angie, until the question of the week. See you guys all real soon. No, wait. We got the weekly purchases.